Okay, red wine part 3. Yeah, like as you were saying in your video, you were saying that basically, uh, yeah, that that people when they have like when someone's trying to prove something to someone, either they're gonna agree with the conclusion or they're gonna disagree with the basis and so forth and everything. And I agree to a certain degree. It's like this. Yeah. For example, me, when I speak to people, like I'm not the most articulate of people. I speak very fast. I move about a lot. I stutter a lot. I repeat myself a lot, and go off the subject and come back, from time to time. Yeah. So I'm not the most articulate person, but I do it because I speak from my heart and I believe people understand what the point I'm trying to make and so forth. But yeah, there's like many reasons. There's different reasons why someone can have something proved to them or why they cannot accept that something that's proved to them. For example, the person who's speaking there to them might not be that articulate, might not be that convincing, and might not be that intelligent in the way they speak, and so therefore they have the sufficient evidence, but they can't relate it to the person they're talking to. Or it could be that the person is eloquent, the person speaks good, the person is very fluent in articulating himself and so forth, but the person who's listened to him um, um, doesn't really understand and is a bit slow and or doesn't understand big words, so he doesn't understand either. Or it could be the person that is speaking to them, is speaking to them, is preaching the wrong thing, so the intelligent person doesn't recognize it. It could be one of many different things, But I'm saying Islam can be proven, and I would say is that if that Islam, I think like for example that if you look like nowadays, you'll see that it's atheist scientists in a large amount of number, they're becoming Muslim. Even if you look in the Western world, in Europe and or in England or America, you'll see that a lot of people, whether they're coming from like different backgrounds, are embracing Islam, and that also means that people are coming out of atheism, people are coming out of Christianity, people are coming out of um, Sikhism, whatever it is, because um, they're all systems of belief, you know. And what I'm basically trying to say is numbers do not prove anything. Yeah, numbers, I say just like I said, when the majority of Germans, that's why I don't base things on society. When the majority of Germans were doing bad, in to the Jews and so forth, the majority were wrong. But what I'm basically trying to say is that something can be proved and so forth. I think we all know that. Look, for example, when we have conversations, like I have conversations with people all at different times, atheists, Sikhs, Hindus, and this, that, and the other. Now, this might be a bit arrogant of me, but I think that when I have a debate with these people, that generally, like I prove my point, and I prove it more than they prove their point. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, even though a Christian, when a Christian tells me Jesus is God, you know what I'm saying, and I say, how could Jesus be God? God was a baby, and Jesus didn't know everything. He didn't see everything. He didn't hear everything. He had nothing that had the attributes to make him God. Now, at the end of that thing, the Christian might be nodding his head and say, I don't agree with you, this, that, and ever. But I know within myself that I've conveyed, and established a proof on him. Now, I'm sure we all know as human beings, when you're talking to someone, whether you've proved beyond doubt that what you're saying is right, or proved, or when you've proven a powerful argument to the other person, you know whether you've been successful or not. For example, this talk we're having here, Redwine, um, I think you can tell, obviously, who is that has the most proof and who's been proving that the analogy is right. You know, um, only joking, not to be arrogant. Well, I'm not joking, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So what I'm basically trying to say is that when two people are talking, it's never going to be dead. You're absolutely was it equal? You see what I'm saying? So I think I know when you've proved something, even if the person doesn't admit to you that you've proven it to them. You understand what I'm saying? Um, so therefore, I think we can know, And I only got that in there about proving you wrong because I've seen your video and you're about to do it to me. So it would be only intelligent of me to do it first. As you, I know you like dealing with, reason and stuff by all the books in your background. I know you're trying to intimidate me, but alhamdulillah, I got a lot of books too. Okay, let's play your tape if I can find it.
If religion is provable logically, then the options are the same. Either someone disagrees with your premises, or they agree with your conclusion. Or else there's some flaw in the logic in there that they're aware of and you're not. Or they're just irrational, stubborn, maybe stupid people. So those are the options. So with religious disagreement, if we can agree about the premises, then either we agree, or one of us, you of course, not me, being irrational. I'm just kidding. Of course you will think that I'm being irrational. That's obvious, right? It's just name calling. So then an interesting thing happens in our discussion. If we discuss Islamic law, you argue from the Quran, the Hadith, the Sunnah, that kind of thing. If we really got into questions like when it's okay to charge interest rate and what kind of interest rates are okay to charge and what kind of investments are okay to be made and what are the conditions necessary to declare children that a child has been born out of wedlock, or even fascinating cases from Muslim history such as what happens if a spirit, a jinn, and a human mate, such things like that. Really, we would really get into the law. We'd really get into the fiqh and the traditions and argue in different ways, and we'd argue from these religious authorities, and we would use reason with those religious authorities as premises. And if we could agree with the premises, then we would reach a conclusion. Of course, the premises aren't so clear, so we could argue forever, and nobody would settle it unless God gave a new revelation. That's a possibility. God gives a new revelation. He can settle the question for us, right? But using arguments like that based on fiqh and sunnah and hadith and the Quran, you proved to your own satisfaction that the Shiites are wrong and that suicide bombers are wrong and so on. All right, so I'm sure that if we had a Shiite to discuss with us, the Shiite would be able to answer your claim and respond back with some other. I know that Shiites don't have quite the same traditions of Sunnah and Hadith and stuff, but they have their own. And what they definitely share with you is the Quran. And
Yeah, Redwine. First of all, to answer the first part of your question, first of all, it's very simple. If when two Muslims have a disagreement or something, what they have to do is they have to get, basically, like the sayings of the Quran, the sayings of the Prophet, and the tasfir, like the explanation of the verses by the companions, the Salaf, and so forth, and explain, basically bring the both the evidence, and they come together. Now this is different because with Shia, but I'll deal with them in a second. But generally, what will happen? They get together, and then what happened? They bring the proof from the Quran, the Sunnah, and from the Tasfir and so forth, and basically stack it up against what each other's got. And you're never at the end of that gonna come out with two exact how could I say two exact equal conclusive rights and wrong, because that's not the nature of it. The nature of thing is that someone's going to come out with more proof because he can say, well, Allah said this, the Prophet did this in this situation, and the companions used to do this. Yeah? So, therefore, if the other person doesn't have that evidence, then that person basically has reached the wrong decision because this evidence outweighs that. And the thing is, at the end of the day, you're never going to have somewhere where it's completely equal. That's why, like, there's never been a debate like homosexuality or incest in Islam. Why? Because there's no text to support it. It's not like a Muslim comes and says, well, I think this or I think that. Because in Islam, there's valid ikhtilaf and there's invalid ikhtilaf. You know what I'm saying? It has to be done with the Quran, the Sunnah, and the sayings of the companions and so forth. So what I'm basically trying to say, let me check, my time's not running out. Yeah. So what I'm basically trying to say is that it's going to be based upon proof. And when you put all the proof together, that side and this side, it's never going to come out equal. One's going to come on top, and one's going to come lower. And the person with the lower, has to take the opinion of that, or he has to realize that this person that you follow proof, and if his proof outweighs that proof, then he should follow it. Yeah, you know. So basically, that's how we deal with that. Okay, I've got to do another video with the Shiite.